This is going to be your weekly chakra energy check-in. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies you may be experiencing throughout your chakras. So in the comments, I invite you to let me know your word of the day, how you're feeling, what's the vibe. Because, I think the energy the last few days, or even weeks for that matter, have been quite uncomfortable. And the message overall just seems to be get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because you can't fight the shift. Holy shift, right? We're going through major changes, growth, and what can you do in this matter? You can fight it, you can try to hold back, but it's just going to get stronger and stronger. And I don't know. I would just say that if you've got your arms crossed and you're stomping your feet, recognize that that's not going to stop time, and that's not going to stop things from shifting. We have to address whatever it is that's coming to the surface, because I think a lot is bubbling to the surface right now, especially emotionally. I think we're stuck on an old story that just needs to be let go of. And I just want to remind you that there's nothing wrong with hope. You can have hope for whatever it is that you want, but you can't be so focused on it going the way that you want it to. Sometimes the universe will give you something completely different, because that's what you need. It's not about what you want, it's about what you need, right? So anyways, I think that right now, if you're struggling, take a second and try to look at things from the bigger picture. Try to understand why people do what they do, even if you don't agree with it. Sometimes that can help us sort of navigate the path. I think that a lot of people lately have been taking things very personally in regards to their connections or relationships. And you have to recognize that sometimes, people just can't give or don't have the capacity to give. And you can't take that personally. You've got to put the focus on yourself, not the focus on other people. I'm noticing that a lot. We're so focused on what other people are doing and thinking and feeling. And yet, really, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you doing? It's important to focus on yourself. And when you do, you watch, things change. Okay, so let's take a look at the overall messages for your chakras. And I feel like it's this one that wants to come out. Ask with sincerity. Very interesting. I just asked you a bunch of questions. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you doing? And I ask you that question with sincerity. Absolutely. Okay. So interesting that would actually come out. So let's take a look at this deck here. Now, I know this deck here also has questions, so maybe there's a reason why I chose this deck this morning. What's the question? Am I receiving peace? The topic of peace has come up quite a bit recently, actually, in conversation, not only with friends, but in sessions, and I think peace is so underrated. I know sometimes we think about peace as in like pageant questions, like I want world peace. And of course, who doesn't want world peace? But in general, in your daily life, what does peace mean to you? Like, what would bring you peace? I think it's different, obviously, for everyone. And I brought this Healing Heart deck out again because I just love it. See, Healing Heart. Face your shadow and grow. Wow. It's interesting. I kind of am feeling like I need one more card. Usually I take 3. And I want to use the Inner Child. Oops, I'm knocking the table. My apologies. The Healing Child Oracle. I've been using it a lot lately. What else do we need to know here? Speak to yourself with kindness. Become aware of how you speak to yourself. Absolutely. It almost reminds me of what kind of conversations do you have with yourself? Like, do you bring yourself peace? It's not even so much do other people bring you peace or external factors. Do you bring yourself peace? Are you at peace with yourself? Is there something that you haven't forgiven yourself for that you need to? Is there something that you constantly overthink out of trauma or emotional pain body? Like, you have to be very aware of, your thoughts, your feelings, your words, and your actions, because they manifest. And if we want peace, we have to process these things. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these over to the side, and we'll allow the chakra cards to sort of come through the center of this reading. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the energies for each chakra and see what you may be experiencing. And we're going to start with the root chakra. This is Mars energy. Now, by the way, Mars just moved into Aquarius. And Aquarius energy is all about technology and foresight and, you know, envisioning what you want. Ah, look at this. Ending of a cycle. The world, completion of a cycle. How interesting. This is saying we're going to let go of the old stuff. We're going to go to the next level, whatever that may be. Okay, let's take a look with the oracle cards here on the side. The Chariot, onwards and upwards. You know? Are you feeling very emotional? Because the King of Water or the King of Cups or Cancerian energy, I mean, it's all water, is about being in tune with your emotions. Like, are you making decisions right now based on your emotions or based on your logic? How are you responding to people, with emotion or with logic? And there's the crystal ball, which is all about intuition and premonitions and seeing clearly. Are you seeing things clearly right now, so much so that you want to go to the next level? Interesting. You know what? I'm going to move these cards even again. My apologies, because I do have the room to do this. I think that we need the extra space for these cards. But I want to keep them here in vision because I think they will be important to us today. Okay, let's take a look at Venus, the sacral chakra. Now, interestingly enough, Mars and Venus will be in Aquarius together, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to be really interesting. It's kind of like a bit of song and dance there. Let's take a look at Venus. Two of Wands, leaving the comfort zone. And it's interesting that we got the sacral chakra card, the orange, because that's, you know, self-worth, self-value, and self-respect. This is basically saying, you know, got to leave the comfort zone. That's why we're going to the next level, whether we want it to or not. You know, holy shift, right? We're changing, we're growing, we're shifting. Yeah, we're in the process of arrival, stepping stones. Can I just remind you of something? You don't have to be 100% healed. Please don't listen to anybody that says, oh my goodness, you must be 100% healed to be in a relationship or to be happy. That's not how it goes. What it comes down to is, are you consistent in your healing? Are you keeping yourself in check? Are you surrounding yourself with people that have good energy, that support your growth? Because I'm talking to a lot of people recently who are struggling with friendships or relationships where your growth is not encouraged. You may think it's encouraged, but remember, people want to see you do well. They don't want to see you do better. The people who truly love you and want you to do well, you'll know and you'll feel it. So as long as you're taking the steps to heal, you're good. And whatever pace that is, fine. But just make sure that it's onwards and upwards, because I think with this energy lately, we're being very tested and we're being pulled backwards. And a lot of people are reverting back to old comfort zones without even realizing it. And then it requires course correction. And then there's the frustration of, but I thought I was doing so well. You know, and let me just give you some other thoughts on that. It's kind of like, you know, diet and exercise. You work out really hard for, I don't know, a few weeks. You're watching your food, and then all of a sudden you go out to eat with someone and you say, geez, you know, I really can have that meal, that cheat meal. And of course you can. There's nothing saying you can't. And then it turns into, yeah, I can have that drink, I can have that dessert. And then somehow we spiral, you know, out of control and kind of back to old ways where maybe we're eating the things that maybe we shouldn't, or we're skipping our workouts again. And it's okay to have a blip in the road. It's okay to have a moment. It's okay to have a cheat meal. It's okay to have that dessert. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to go onwards and upwards, you know, even when you do take a step back. But I am noticing that there are some people getting caught up in old energies again, and then all of a sudden they're shocked and say, but I thought I was doing so well. It's because we reach a certain level of achievement or success at something, And then we want to relish in that, which is fine. But then at the same time, we stay stagnant and we don't make the moves that we need to make. And so I just want to remind you that just because you make changes doesn't mean the changes stop there. They don't stop. They're always going to be there. You know, we are lifelong learners and we're never fully 100%. Maybe the day that we transition out of this world, but as long as we're living, there's going to be learning. There's going to be changes. That's a guarantee. You have all the tools. You have what it takes. And to be honest with you, I think that's the issue. I think there are a lot of people who don't believe they have what it takes. And that's why they give up. You know, and I want to remind you again about the difference between giving up and surrendering. I hear a lot of people say, I'm done. I give up. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to close myself off. Well, where's that going to get you? It's going to keep you in the same spot that you don't like. It's just going to keep repeating the stuff that you're complaining about. So you have a choice. Like, you either deal with whatever you're experiencing or you stay stuck. And I know people don't want to stay stuck. I know that. But you have to keep yourself consistent. Okay? So let's take a look at the solar plexus. Yeah, the King of Swords. King of Swords is about being logical and decisive. It even means being a little bit detached. You know, when it comes to your personal power, you know, whenever we lose that, it's like a punch to the gut, you know, where something deflates us or we're disappointed by something. And you have to look at the bigger picture. You have to understand why things are happening, right? Even if it disappoints us or hurts us, it's okay. We're going to have moments where things don't go our way. But then again, process of arrival, onwards and upwards. And in regards to the Chariot energy, which is, yes, like moving forward, onwards and upwards, right? Process of arrival. That King of Cups or King of Water is about being in tune with your emotions. So again, it's about balancing how you react to something. Are you responding with emotions running high out of like defense mechanisms or projection? Because I definitely see a lot of projection these days. You know, it's amazing how many people speak on behalf of other people. You know, oh, they're not going to want to be with me because I am this, 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 and this. Well, who says? Don't speak for that person. How do you know? You know, and you can tell me you know, but you're not that person. And the same goes for you. Somebody can't speak for you either. How do you feel when somebody speaks for you? You don't like it, right? So just be careful how you project. And I think, again, that just comes from a place of fear or insecurity. So let's see, that King of Swords, trying to get clarity, research. It takes time. It's trusting the process, honestly. The process of arrival, baby steps, progress. It just takes time and research to make moves. Let's see, what else do we need to know? The Symphony, harmony, synergy, co-create. This is the point. The energy right now is really, in my opinion, about co-creation. Like, we are one with the universe. I know that sounds cheesy. We have all the tools to manifest. We all have a part. We all play a role. All the world's a stage, right? So remind yourself that you are not alone, that you can receive love. You know, I was having a really beautiful conversation with a friend this morning about receiving love and support. It's amazing how we fear receiving love from others. We want it so badly, and yet we fear it, because what do we do with it when we get it? You know, sometimes we don't feel good enough or worthy enough of that love, and yet others see us so differently. You know, our view of ourselves is always different than other people. You know, we see all the flaws in ourselves, and yet other people will say, oh my goodness, you know, you look amazing, or you radiate such beautiful energy, or you're glowing, you know? Okay, let's take a look at the heart chakra. I think that's always what we're focused on, right? Is being secure in our heart space. That's what we want. Let's see. Ah, the Devil. Restrictions, Codependency. You know, I said this in a reading that I filmed. I don't think I've posted it yet, but I will be. Something that I've learned almost the hard way is how to be more expressive. It has been my mission over the last few years to really work on my expressiveness because I've always had a fear of speaking my heart. You know, when I was raised as a child, there was this energy of be a good girl, Kelly. Don't rock the boat. Just keep the peace. You know, don't, you know, like don't say anything. And, you know, I had a family, or I have a family that is very loving, but there's no such expression of I love you. You know, this is not a matter of like I love you, have a great day. You know, it's more like I'll show you I love you. I don't really say I love you. And so for me, I find, especially as a Virgo, I mean, earth signs particularly, I believe, are not the most expressive people. They love hard, but they'll not express it unless they know where they stand. I mean, that's me. I don't really express unless I know how you feel about me. But I've been working on that, and I've come to the conclusion that if I tell you I love you or I like you, it's okay to say that. It's okay to say those things, because the people who really like you and love you in return will not be scared of that. They'll embrace that. And I think that's something that many of us struggle with, you know, is wanting to know where we stand before we open up, because being vulnerable is tough. So I'm finding myself just saying how I feel about people, because life is short. And if I genuinely like you and love you, you know, that's okay. That's okay. What's meant for you is meant for you, and nothing that's meant for you is ever going to pass you by. So in the heart space, I kind of feel like this is a time to open yourself up. Now, I don't know if any of you have been having any sort of heart burn, acid reflux, or palpitations. I mean, this is not meant to be medical. I'm just asking. I think the heart chakra really is opening up, you know? So let's see what we need to know about the heart. Yes, the time has come. There you go. Yes, the time has come to open yourself up. I do believe that. Okay. The fishing pole is about self-reliance, but at the same time, you've been so reliant on self because sometimes we feel like we can't trust others, and that's the restriction. That's the holding things back. That's being in the masculine energy. And I want to remind you of something. You know, feminine energy is about feeling. Masculine energy is about doing, and it's okay to have a balance of that. That's perfectly normal. We're all meant to have those polarities, you know. At the same time, though, you want to extend yourself through feelings. You want to connect. And this is also about self-improvement, right? You are capable of expressing yourself. Maybe you just don't realize it, you know. Let's take a look now at the throat chakra. Now I'm very curious to see what comes up here. Well, Princess of Cups. Funny, we got a heart chakra card. Princess of Cups is all about believing in miracles. It is the early stages of something new. Maybe this is something new you've decided to embark on, which is being more expressive. I mean, how many feel like they want to be more expressive? I'm curious in the comments. Or how many of you struggle with being expressive? There you go. There's the power struggle. You know, the should I, shouldn't I? At the same time, it's important to be fearless and determined. I don't know why we're so afraid sometimes to say how we feel. I mean, I do know why. It's a rhetorical question, really. I do know why. I can see it from a societal point of view, how we've done this to ourselves. But at the same time, it's important to work on such things to get better. Yeah, it's time. It's time. The White Rabbit is about curiosity, spiritual awakening. It's time. Heeding the call, researching it. That's what I said, being in the process of arrival, testing it out, you know, inner knowing, going from dark to light. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look at the third eye, which is your intuition. You have to walk away from things that no longer serve you. If intuitively you feel like something is not right for you, then you have to let it go instead of staying stuck or in that comfort zone. Because again, it doesn't serve you to stay in one position that doesn't feel good. There's magic happening. Number 22 could be an angel number that you're seeing. Funny, we had 33 over here and now 22. And there's a magical power in your intuition that you don't even realize you have. Funny, it says clever problem solving. This is the whole point. You know, the process of arrival is trial and error. It's learning. Yes, it's taking a step forward, 2 steps back, but you continue onwards and upwards. You can't ever give up. This is not about giving up. Surrender, yes, but not giving up. And I just want to remind you of something. Be careful with the nostalgia right now. Because again, people are getting pulled backwards, reverting to old ways because they're tired. They're tired of the journey. But again, it's surrender. It's not give up, it's surrender. Like, you have to get so tired that you just don't want to do the same old anymore. You have to get to a point where you say, I'm over it. Like, I'm just not going to do this. And whatever comes my way, comes my way. Okay, let's see what else we need to know. It's a coin toss. Funny, 222. Are you ready to take a risk? Are you ready to take a risk and leave something behind so that you can have something new? Age-old question, right? Are you willing to? Or do you want to stay in your comfort zone where it's not so comfortable and you have anxiety and you have worry and you have pain? That can't feel good. Okay, let's take a look at the crown chakra, the downloads. What are the downloads right now? Exactly. 4 of Cups. Overanalyzing something to the point where you miss out on opportunities. You know, let me make a point here. In the upper chakras, you have the emotions. I mean, just look at the pattern here from bottom to the top, okay? The world, you're ending a cycle. Wands energy is purpose and passion and leaving your comfort zone with the 2 of Wands. How do you do that? You be logical and decisive. You address the things that are holding you back. You believe in miracles. You walk away from the things that no longer serve you. You stop overanalyzing to the point where you may miss out on all the things that you could ever want. And you know what? I really want to take another card with this because I just feel like that is not complete. This is my point. Are you in the old or are you in the new? The Empress. And look, it's another green card. It's another heart chakra card. You're birthing a whole new cycle if you want to. So there you go. Which one? Sorry, I got a kitty cat that wants to come and sit here and she's rocking the table right now. I'm really hoping that she won't come in here and sit on the cards. Yeah, she's about to. Okay, no, my little love. Go. Go. No, go. 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 Thank you. Pandy. Pandy is so kind. She's so easy. Are you in the old? Are you in the new? Okay. And look how these images are so similar. Maybe I have to show them to you just so you can clearly see this. Look, you're being offered a cup. Are you, oops, sorry, as I'm almost throwing the cards. Are you open to receiving that love or that cup? Or are you like analyzing to the point where you don't even see it? You don't even see it. Like, it really comes down to which energy you want to be in. Okay? Let's take a look at the oracle cards with it. The loons, how committed are you? It says manifest your deepest desires. How badly do you want it? Are you all in for what you love? It's interesting. Oh, I felt like it. Well, okay, I'm gonna go double or nothing. It's funny. I was gonna take another card. Since we did double there, let's finish it off with double cards. There we go. 11, 11. Now we've had the master numbers. 11, 11, 22, 33. Look at the enlightenment that comes through. Look at this uncommon bond. When you get to the point of surrender, you get this beautiful deep soul connection. This has all been a catalyst for major change. It's an awakening, a balancing of masculine and feminine energies. I talked about that earlier. Spiritual ascension, commitment. There's something really beautiful there. And sometimes people don't realize how beautiful it is. They put the focus on romance or a specific person. And in reality, it starts with you. And you can have that beautiful connection. You really can. So, interesting. This can be somebody who's looking at the fine print, and we talked about that, over-analyzing to the point of missing out on an opportunity. There you go, commitment. You can't make this up. You know, there is a bond here. There is something. The question is, are you going to let it in? Let me remind you, I don't mean to go back to the beginning here. Letting go of an old cycle, stepping out of your comfort zone, being logical and decisive, letting go of the restrictions, believing in miracles, walking away from the things that no longer serve you, deciding whether you're going to overanalyze and miss an opportunity or whether you're going to birth a whole new cycle that is deep, enlightening, awakening, and has a beautiful commitment with it. And that commitment starts with yourself, and then it turns into a commitment with somebody who's absolutely amazing, that you never thought possible. And I guess the question comes down to, and I ask with sincerity, are you ready to open yourself up? Truly open yourself up. I ask you with sincerity, are you in the old? Are you in the new? I ask you with sincerity, are you receiving peace? Because if you're at peace right now, then none of this applies to you. If you're watching this video right now, you're searching for peace. I ask you with sincerity, are you speaking to yourself with kindness? I ask you with sincerity, are you healing your heart? Are you ready for growth and for change? Wow. Deep questions. I'm going to take one last card. One last card. One last bit of guidance. Okay. What are your intentions? There you go. There's the million-dollar question. I ask you with sincerity. What are your intentions? Are you going to stay at the bottom of the mountain, or are you going to get to the top of that mountain or the top of that cake and celebrate? What are your intentions? I really hope this resonates with you. Thank you so much for listening to this reading. Please let me know in the comments how you're feeling. If you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in my bio. Thursday night, we're starting our Alchemist book talk. I'm so excited if you want to join us. We have 4 live classes on Zoom talking about the book, The Alchemist, which has absolutely changed my life. There's a reason why it's one of the #1 best-selling books. So thank you so much. I wish you an amazing day.